Hey guys, Levi with Trident Fly Fishing, and today we're going to be tying a Squirmy Wormy. This is one of those patterns that is pretty controversial, and it seems some people consider it to be cheating, but whether you like it, hate it, or wherever you fall into, it is a very effective pattern, and it's super easy to tie, so you can stock a box in just about an evening. So we're gonna get started with a TMC 2457 hook, size 14 in the vise, and we're gonna wrap some thread on here, and we're using a 3/0 ultra thread in hot pink. It's gonna match the color of our worm. So let's get a base of thread laid down and trim the tag end, and we'll run our thread back and forth just to get a little bulk going here. And then we're going to move into some dubbing. So bring this on to the front of the fly, and we're using Spirit River UV2 Seal X Ice dubbing. It's got a little flash to it. It's sort of coarse, but it really doesn't matter what dubbing you use here. You don't want to use the dry fly stuff, but anything that will absorb water is just fine. This is only to add a base to tie the Squirmy Wormy material in. So go ahead and start wrapping that rearward and cover the base of thread that you laid down. So add some more dubbing in there and wrap it on back. And this doesn't need to be super pretty. It's really just a base to tie in your material, because this stuff, although super easy fly to tie, it can be a pain to work with. And if you increase the size of the body there, the diameter of the hook shank, it makes everything a little simpler. And the dubbing also kind of just adds a little bit of cushion for this material. So now that you've got your body dubbed, go ahead and grab your Squirmy Wormy material. This is color pink, but you can tie this in any color you want. Tan is good, red, even chartreuse. So get that on the top of your hook shank, and now one pinch wrap, pull it down, and do a second, do a third, and you want to be careful that this stuff doesn't spin on the hook shank. You want to hold it upward so that it just sits nicely on top, and then advance your thread forward. And again, that doesn't need to be super pretty. And you'll see there's a frontal part of this Squirmy Wormy fiber. So go ahead and just tie that in right behind the eye. One pinch wrap. Oh. Might take you a few times to get this properly secured, just because this stuff does tend to roll and it's pretty soft. So that's the hardest part of this fly, is securing the Squirmy Wormy material. So pinch wrap that. You can see I'm having some difficulty. There you go. Get that pinch wrap adjusted on top, and put your thread in front of the eye and pull that fiber rearward. So you'll see everything's laying nicely on top of the fly right now, and it's not rolling. It's nice, nice and centered. So now what we're gonna do is throw a half hitch up there. And all of these materials, even though there's only a couple of them involved in this fly, everything we're using today can be found at tridentflyfishing.com. So if you want to tie some of these, it's a great spring trout pattern. Bluegill, even some small largemouth bass will eat this thing. So we have everything you need on there. And if you guys have a way to make this squirmy material easier to deal with and handle, definitely put that in the comments, because I don't know of a way to a better shortcut than what we've put here. So now go ahead and sneak a whip finish or two behind the eye, and you can cut your thread now. The fly's not quite done. So now you'll notice there's all these fibers hanging off this little size 14 hook. So we're gonna grab this, I'm gonna trim them. You can trim them however long you like. This really is up to you in the end, but you'll see we're looking at about, we're looking at the hook shank. The whole fly is probably about 5 or 6 times the hook shank of this. So that's a Squirmy Wormy. I want to thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time.